Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And that's what this comes down to, is recognizing what happened in the mind of a 5-year-old. Basic human kindness.
Raw emotions in the courtroom today as the man who hit and killed Hartford Police Detective Bobby Garton in 2023 has learned his fate. Thank you for joining us for Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Raven Blue. 20-year-old Richard Barrington will spend 16 years behind bars. In court, there were hours of statements from Garton's family and friends and Barrington's own family. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi has reactions to the punishment.
It's been nearly 2 years since Hartford detective Bobby Garton was killed in the line of duty. Now, Garton's family said they relived that emotional moment when they heard the judge sentence Richard Barrington to 30 years in prison. Now, Garton's brother William said the family is very disappointed with the sentencing.
A mix of emotions in the courtroom Friday.
This marked the beginning of my nightmare. It's a nightmare I never thought I would have to endure.
As the judge sentenced Richard Barrington to 30 years in prison for hitting and killing Hartford detective Bobby Garton and injuring his partner in September of 2023.
The defendant's total effective sentence shall be 30 years incarceration.
Police say Barrington, then 18, was driving the car that crashed into Garton's police cruiser. Investigators say Barrington was speeding from a traffic stop and ran 2 red lights before he hit Garton's cruiser. Garton and his partner were responding to another call. In April of this year, Richard Barrington, now 20 years old, pleaded guilty to manslaughter and assault charges connected to Garton's death. Outside Superior Court, Garton's brother William expressed his disappointment with the sentencing. He says his family wanted Barrington to serve 40 years in prison.
And I will live as a failed brother for the rest of my life. The system expects us to carry trauma, the debt, and the damage, and somehow act grateful just to be heard.
Did Bobby look to the right to signal Brian Clare? Did he see the defendant's car approaching? Were the defendant's headlights the last thing Bobby saw on earth? Was he afraid? Those thoughts haunt me.
Barrington was visibly emotional in court. His grandmother asked the room for sympathy and respect.
I ask you today to treat him just like you treat anybody else. He made a bad decision that night. He ran. That's what people do when they get afraid. They ran.
Before Barrington learned his sentence, he stood and addressed Garton's family one last time.
I always thought I'd be on to a better chapter in my life today. I know I can't bring back Officer Bobby Garton or Hill Officer Brian Kearney back to full health, but I want you to know that if there's anything I can do to give you that closure, I'm here for that, so please don't hesitate to reach me.
Barrington's 30-year sentence will be suspended after 16 years served. During his probation, he will undergo substance abuse rehab. He must also make a $50 donation to Sea Cadets annually during his probation. Sea Cadets is a charity Detective Bobby Garton was fond of.
Now, William Garner said the family will continue to honor Bobby's legacy with a memorial fund that supports fallen officers. In Hartford, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
It was a beautiful day compared to past ones, but that will soon change. Let's check in with meteorologist Sam Perry for a first look at the forecast. Sam.
Hey there, Raven. Good evening to you and everyone. Tomorrow's a transition day. We're going to have a mix of sun and clouds. It's going to be a little warmer. Humidity will be held in check, but it might go up a little bit. Dew points might get well into the 60s, and then we're off and running to hot and humid conditions on Sunday. And then dangerous heat next week. We're talking about an extreme heat watch already in effect from Sunday through Tuesday for heat indices to reach 105. Could it get up to 110? Yeah, very much so, especially by Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures right now, they're okay. We're going to be okay tonight and tomorrow. Like I said, we're in the 60s and 70s. There is a little bit of a front down here, but it's missing us. Not expecting much rain for Saturday. Could it be after 16 weeks of wetness on Saturdays that it might go away? Well, I don't want to jinx it yet. Let's check out overnight. We're down into the 60s. And then we're going to shoot those temperatures up under a partly sunny sky to near 80 by 11 a.m. And let's check out the highs for tomorrow afternoon. Look at these 80s all over, even down in southern Connecticut. The only area where it stays 78 is Stonington, and then up in the Connecticut River Valley, mid to upper 80s, but cooler up in northwest Connecticut. Coming up, I will detail the chance for thunderstorms and then the big heat. How hot will it go? I'll have all the details coming up in a few minutes. Raven.
All right, thanks, Sam. New at 10, some Connecticut schools continue to violate the state's school desegregation law, according to a new report. For the 2024-25 school year, 5 schools were out of compliance with student racial makeup far from their district's average. 4 of the schools have been out of balance for over a decade. The law, designed to prevent segregation by requiring each school to reflect its district's racial makeup within 25 percentage points, also flags 16 other schools nearing imbalance. After a brief pause in enforcement, the law is now back in effect, requiring districts to submit plans to correct the imbalances. But officials say meaningful progress remains a challenge. Also new at 10, New Haven superintendent is considering closing Brennan Rogers School to help close a projected $16.5 million budget gap. Dr. Madeline Negron informed parents and guardians in a letter this week and says the decision aims to reduce layoffs while addressing financial challenges. Brennan Rogers serves 132 students, and if closed, a special lottery would be held to ensure those students can attend other quality schools. Negron emphasizes this was a difficult decision and recognizes the impact it would have on students, families, and staff. The U.S. Coast Guard Academy has upgraded its security with a $10 million electronic system to boost safety on campus. The new system features more than 500 advanced door locks and 300 surveillance cameras focused on cadet dorms and restricted areas. The upgrades also includes improved security stations and new badging system, which enhances overall campus protection as the Academy trains future Coast Guard leaders. The project was completed in May. A Stamford jury found a former Norwalk official guilty of murder and criminal lockout today. 64-year-old Ellen Wink was convicted of shooting her next-door neighbor to death in January 2022. Her sentencing is scheduled for September 5th. Police say they found Kurt Lametta dead in his home on Nelson Avenue with multiple gunshot wounds. Tax assessor records show Wink owned his home. She was Norwalk's deputy Republican registrar on the city Registrar of Voters and Elections Administration. The Travelers Championship is in full swing and round 2 wrapped up today. Right now, it's a jam-packed field at the top of the leaderboard after the second round. Defending champ Scotty Scheffler is on top and in a 3-way tie with Justin Thomas and England's Tommy Fleetwood for the lead at 9 under par. Australian Jason Day is the lone player in 4th place with 8 under. If you head out to the greens, third round tee times are set. Scheffler and Thomas tee off at 2:25 p.m., while Fleetwood and Day tee off just 10 minutes before at 2:15. And while golfers prepare to tee off tomorrow, medical crews are ready to handle any issue the hot weather may throw the tournament's way. Fox 61's Stephen Reels takes a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to keep visitors at Travelers happy and healthy.
Thousands of visitors have made their way right here to the TPC River Highlands for the Travelers Championship, and every year crews out here say it just seems to get bigger and bigger. So naturally, you will need a pretty big medical team to keep them all safe. A turn of the key, and the EMS crews here from Trinity Health are off.
We just want coverage of the whole course.
With 5 satellite tents set up throughout the course, bike teams and ambulances are ready to go in case of emergency. The man at the head of these operations?
We're equipped with everything with meds, IV supplies, you name it.
Patrick Gauthier. now back for his third go-around at the Travelers Championship. How big is the operation here?
It's quite big. So we have about 60 to 65 team members here on any given day.
With 10 to 15 members here at the main tent alone. A field hospital with enough resources to care for anything that may pop up over the course of the championship.
We're prepared for just about anything. So we deal with things like slips, trips, and falls.
And dehydration. Soon more staff are expected to report to the course with conditions like this weekend, where the heat will be hard to ignore.
We pay attention to things like weather and everything else. So if we know that we're going to experience some high heat like we may this weekend, we will up staff and make sure we have enough supplies on hand for that.
With extra fluids and IV bags at the ready, just in case people feel under the weather. And if that happens to be you, look for those in gold.
We're the only vendors on site that wear this uniform so that we are easily identifiable out on the course. We're very proud of the work that we do here. The care and the support we're able to supply to the fans and the players and the families that come here really gives us a lot of pride seeing the work that we do.
Big thing to keep in mind, especially with the warmer weather ahead this weekend, don't be afraid to bring a little extra water to drink, and if you feel like you've had enough, chances are you might need a little bit more. In Cromwell, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
All right, keep it right here on Fox 61 or Fox 61 Plus for everything you need to know about the tournament. If you plan on going out to see the action, download the Fox 61 app for updates from the course.